Welcome back to the channel, everyone. You see me walking here in the background, which is what probably will become Kind Heart Homestead. So I have this property under contract with a contingency that I can back out of the deal if the land is not suitable for a septic tank, because we really need that to get a certificate of occupancy if we're going to be building actual habitable structures here. The soil testing guys just left. I drove 3 hours from Raleigh just to make this appointment, and I actually ended up learning a lot about septic and well in the area and what the typical soil is like. I'm walking down to the site of our future septic system right now, and I'll show it to you in a minute. All right, let's start from the top down. See this small tree behind me? I put some little ribbons on the ground to mark where the well would potentially go. And that's not an exact location, but it's basically as close as the well could possibly be to our septic tank. I believe there's a 50-foot distance requirement. And I was assured that the well drilling rig will be able to get up this type of hill to drill up there. I assumed they would want to drill at the lowest point, but it turns out with all the neighboring stuff around creeks and cisterns and things like that for our neighbors, we wouldn't want to have a well that close, and you don't want to have your well downhill from your septic tank. And that made a lot of sense. So right behind me, there's this, it's kind of a level spot right in the middle of the pasture. And we have these stakes with ribbons on them, basically denoting the corners. I can't remember, honestly, the length and the width of this square, but they basically did some sort of site survey. The two of them stood opposite from each other and measured the distances and measured it from the neighbor's fence post. They just needed a fixed spot to measure from, so the state agencies will be able to know exactly where it's going to be. So I'm standing right in the middle of the septic field now. It's not actually where I envisioned it going, but I actually like, based on all the concepts that they told me, I like where it is. And the soil was actually better in composition than they thought it would be. They think it's gonna be great here. And originally, I was just gonna install a 4-bedroom septic tank. I figured, because of how the government defines septic tanks, I guess, they're measured in bedrooms with 2 people per bedroom. It's just gonna be the 3 of us living here, but with 2 houses, I wanted plenty of room in case we have guests and stuff in the septic tank. So 4 bedrooms is what I was planning on. But I asked them to go ahead and measure everything for a 5-bedroom. And we better do it now if we're going to do it, because you can't really just upgrade your septic system later. And that way, if we want to have a camper on the property, have a guest pull up and maybe rent a plot, or relatives live with us on the property, we'd have the capacity to allow them to flush their toilets. So I'm down here, which is where I thought the end of the property was. There's a 20-foot shared easement here that we share with the neighbors. But apparently all of this land here on this side of the driveway is also ours. And that tree line there has a creek in it, so we actually have access to a creek. You guys are going to see a lot more about our homestead coming up soon. We just need to get through the closing process, take possession of this property, and then we can really get the move going and the builds started. So stay tuned.